ready?
Sure.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Christine.
I'm Jamie.
And we are back for A Court of Wings and Ruin.
We have so much to discuss.
I think so. I really like these chapters. It's chapters 11 to 17. Oh, and I guess this is our Halloween episode.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Halloween. Books and booze. And we are wearing Halloween sweaters to really get things in the mood.
Yes, exactly. To get ourselves in the mood. What else will get us in the mood is that we have another autumn cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just pure luck that these chapters, having the apple one last time and then the one this time where we go to the autumn court,
That really was luck.
that it landed right in October in our autumn season, in our Halloween
Prime
season.
fall time.
Yes. So, I have a pumpkin drink for you.
Are you like a pumpkin spice girl?
I am absolutely not.
Same.
So this is gonna go good.
I am such a fall girl.
Yeah.
But I've never been like a pumpkin spice.
No, me neither. So good thing I made one that tastes exactly like pumpkin spice. Do you like pumpkin pie?
Yes, that's the only pie that I love pumpkin pie.
Okay. So maybe there's a chance we might like it. I was really torn whether to call this drink the Autumn Court or just Lucien.
Right?
Lucien Vanserra. But I don't know that a pumpkin drink represents Lucien, though. I don't know if that's exactly his vibe.
Yeah, no, that's not really his vibe.
Yeah, and we've also done drinks that were in honor of the other courts. Like we did the spring court, we did the night court, we did the summer court. So
I think
we
Lucien
really
deserves a
should
better
do
drink.
the autumn court, and it's a good thing because that's what I did.
Yeah.
That's what I did. Okay, let's try the drink. Cheers.
Okay. Cheers. This is a cold drink, right?
It should be. Oof.
I like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like bourbon?
I think I do.
If you don't like bourbon, then this is...
Yeah, your face isn't the same as my face right now.
Bourbon is not my favorite. I love it. But yeah, that's what it is. I'll tell you what it is. It is bourbon. And then I made a pumpkin syrup.
Oh.
So I cooked down sugar, water, pumpkin puree, pumpkin spice, and vanilla.
Ooh, fancy.
And so all I did was just, it's a couple shots of bourbon, and then I added, 3 tablespoons of that syrup, and that's the drink.
Oh, it is a strong drink, but I really like it.
My lips are burning.
Like, this is such, like, I would sit outside by a fire and sip on this.
I don't know that I would have it again, but...
No, I'm into this.
All right, good. Before we forget, what's your rating?
7.5.
Ooh. Okay, I'm going to give it a 6.
So I feel like you can also, like, taste the pumpkin, but it's not, like, super strong.
I was a little bit scared of that it was going to be very just like, bam, pumpkin spice, but it's really not.
No, it's, like, subtle, but you can still, like, taste it. It's not just, like, bourbon.
And it does taste like bourbon, though.
It does. That's also a good bourbon we had.
That's Jamie laughing at my face.
Her face is showing.
But I would rather have something like this than like a sweet pumpkin kind of drink. And lucky for you, it wasn't hot. It wasn't a hot one.
Yes, thank God.
Because we could have went in that direction.
Save that syrup, though.
Okay, so if you have this cocktail in your living room or out on your deck, what would be your go-to movie?
Well, it depends what the atmosphere is.
Well, you can set it because it's fake.
Scream.
And this is the second time you've mentioned Scream on this podcast.
Yeah,
because...
big Scream. I usually watch all of them this time of year. My other one, which we found out the other week, is Rocky Horror Picture Show. Mm-hmm. Every Halloween, I think I've watched that since I was like 14. I love it. I am obsessed with it, and I found out you had never seen it.
Still haven't.
I love that movie so much. It just makes me so happy. If you have not watched it, please watch it. Especially if you love singing in movies. I just think it's like one of those movies that everyone has to see. Young Susan Sarandon.
She's great.
Yeah. Meatloaf is in it.
You can't pass up Meatloaf. That's for sure.
Tim Curry, the star of the show. It's just one of those like cult classic type movies I'll never ever get sick of watching it.
Well, I've watched Halloween Town and Halloween Town 2 this week.
With your kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like it.
So they didn't want to watch Rocky Horror Scream?
They didn't. No, but they really, really like Halloween Town.
Oh, I don't think I've ever really watched it fully.
No, I hadn't until the last
like it would
year,
kind of like
I
be
think.
On sometimes, like on like the Family Channel. I remember we were young.
It's pretty bad.
Well,
like,
yeah.
It's bad, but it's good.
Yeah.
Like the special effects are like, ooh. Real bad. But yeah, no, I like those. They're stupid and they're cute. What's the other one? We watched Casper the other day.
So good. I used to think I was Christina Ricci when I was younger. I thought we looked identical, right? So
yeah, you looked similar.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I was like, oh my god, I am Christina Ricci, and me and Devon Sawa are.
Oh, Devon Sawa in that movie.
Right?
Oof. I mean, he's only there briefly, but he's...
When he does that change from that cute little ghost, like, I just remember having, like, butterflies when I was little. I'm like, oh my god!
That middle part.
Your husband is a big fan of Scaring.
Of Scaring?
And
yeah.
Mike Myers, he's a huge fan of.
Yeah.
So I was watching your son the other day, and we went to the Halloween store. I was super excited. And then we got things we were putting up, and I got things to put on my door. So it was different. Like, I had, like, the guy from Scream, like Anthony Hopkins and Silence of the Lambs. Mm-hmm. And then there was a Mike Myers one I put on the door, and he just pointed. He's like, it's Daddy!
Yeah. Yeah, year-round we have the Michael Myers mask on our bookshelf.
Yeah.
Because 2 years ago he was Michael Myers, and last year he was Freddy Krueger.
Right.
And he has a picture from when he was a little kid in a Freddy Krueger costume.
Okay, any other movies? I'm trying to think.
Oh, we watched Hocus Pocus the other day.
Oh, how have I not said Hocus Pocus?
Yeah, so we watched that one, and then we watched a little bit of Hocus Pocus 2, but the kids seemed less interested in that one, which I agree with them. The original is better.
Yeah, they really didn't need to do the second one.
No.
Like, it was fun to have them all back, but obviously just did not need to be done. The first one is just... I am seeing a lot of people this year. It's all of a sudden, like, coming out. Like, the two guys in the graveyard. Like, the punk kids. And he has, like, ice shaving the back of his head.
Yeah, we were watching it, and I was like, we should be them for Halloween.
It keeps popping up. I think Stacy sent it to me, or I sent it to Stacy. Stacy's her cousin. And it was people dressed up as that. I was like, that's such a good costume.
Yeah. Yeah, they're so funny.
What are you going to be for Halloween?
Oh, it's a secret.
Oh. Okay, well, I'm going to be, I already told you what I'm doing, is Orin from Plated Prisoner. I have no idea how it's going to go, because I have never had to paint my body gold. And, I mean, I got, like, professional stuff. Like, I literally asked one of the cosplay people on Booksta or whatever what she used. So I'm going to do that, but it's when she's on the roof and she's in, like, her green dress shirt. Well, not, like, a slate shirt or whatever. Well, Mom asked me today what I was being, and I told her. She's like, so nobody's going to know who you are. I said, nope.
No, they're not.
Nope, but I will.
That's not what Halloween is about.
And then it allows me to talk about one of my favorite books. Mm-hmm. And then I'll show them, like, the art.
And then you bring them over to the bookshelf and you explain all of your books. And yeah. And
I'm going to be the life of the party.
That's a fun party host that you are.
I did go back and forth because I also really wanted to be, like, a Farrah, or, like, really just wear, like, fake ears. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'll wait till next year, or just...
It takes a lot of planning.
I know. I'm excited to see what you're going to be.
It'll be a surprise to me and you. No, you'll see. It's going to be a big surprise, and you're going to be like, whoa, how did you think of that? That's amazing.
So good. Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Part 2. Cursebreaker. I never truly understand
Nope.
the titles. I did Google the last one, which was Princess of Carrion or something.
Yeah.
And that word is something like rotting, not corpses, or like... But I think the theory is like that word, it's insinuating that what's going on when she's like taking down the spring court, like she's kind of killing it from within, like letting it rot.
Wasn't Carrion like their like last names of the prince and princess that came from Hybern?
I don't think so.
Oh. So it does say chapter 62 of A Court of Mist and Fury, the Book of Breathings calls Farah Princess of Carrion. And then it also says that Carrion can refer to a separation or farewell to a person. It can also symbolize the ending of a relationship.
Oh, well, that makes more sense than the rotting explanation that I had. But Cursebreaker, like we know that her nickname is Feyre. Cursebreaker, I don't know, even though we've read this book, I still don't understand why this portion is called that, though.
No, I guess we'll find. I can't honestly remember much from this book.
We'll see if we can figure it out.
I like this book made me remember why I liked Lucien. Like I think I just kind of forgot, and now I'm just like, oh, I'm like I love Lucien. Like he's I love him, and I kind of just in my mind he was almost just like nah, like I forgot all these things about him. I know I didn't want to tell you that.
Well, good, because we start off with more Lucien. The title of chapter 11 is Fucien's Vacay in the Autumn Court, which that is what Sarah J. Maas said is the title. She told me personally, and it was a secret, but I'm a bad friend, and now I'm telling you all. So, Lucien is mad. He knew that she was lying, and that light that she used in Hybern, that she was faking it. Whatever you did, Feyre, whatever explanation you had was bullshit.
Yeah.
I have a friend that lives in Downcourt. I know. My friend told me.
That's right. Glad to see the mask is off, Feyre.
Yeah. And she asks, why didn't you tell Tamlin then? And he's like, well, I don't want to kick a guy while he's down. And also, I need to see Elaine again, so I didn't want to upset you. And Feyre's like, ugh, rolls her eyes. Like, these are the only reasons? This is your explanation?
Yeah.
So she seems a little disappointed that Lucien's not being a better guy in this situation. He does seem like an asshole here. How are you helping your friend by just being secretive? But I guess you're kind of scared of him, but then also, like...
I think subconsciously, though, he was more aware than he was, like, leading on. And I think he knows, like, what Farah's doing is right. Even, like, when they were in, like, the Spring Court situation.
I think you see the best in people and give them the benefit of the doubt. And I don't know that Lucien should have that here.
Okay, that's fair.
But I think that's why Feyre is upset. 'Cause she's like, he's being the bad guy. And so, like...
Yes.
How about that part? Where excuse me?
Yeah.
You're just mad at me? But the other thing she said was like, I told you that Elaine was safe. I told you that. And he said, well, why? I was just supposed to believe you? And it's like, Lucien, that's her sister.
Yeah, and like, and you do know her.
A minute ago.
Yeah. And you know Farah. There's no way she would just be like,
she's fine.
Yeah. If she didn't actually believe that.
Right. It was a little cuckoo.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, it's so hard for me like not to defend him right now.
Yeah, I love Lucien, but I'll give him shit here. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, well, what was gonna happen to me, eh? And she's like, no, she didn't say this. I said this. Sorry, these are my notes. And I thought, Lucien, you didn't help Feyre out plenty of times.
Yeah. And so this one time you're gonna be like, well...
What, you didn't think about my well-being? Right. Lucien.
She's like, you would have been fine.
Lucien. Oh, and he's like, well, what about Tamlin? What was the plan there? And then Feyre's really funny, and she says, I was going to disembowel him. And she debated that, and she just says it so coldly, like, yeah, but if I killed him, then that probably wouldn't be good for our politics. It's like, whoa, okay.
Who cares about the actual murder part?
he was so awful to you, but like, murder Feyre? Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that's a bit... I don't know. Even... I'm not a fan of him, but even I don't think he needs to be murdered.
Yeah. So, anyway, they make their way through the Autumn Court.
And they have... Oh, you know what sucks? They had to throw out all that food.
I did think that too. That was very wasteful, but they couldn't risk it.
Yeah.
We do get to learn sort of Lucien's experiences being the youngest of 7.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some contradictory comments, and I couldn't pinpoint when the second one was said. But basically, like, because he was last in line, it would be far-fetched for him to, like, oh, he's going to kill all his brothers and then become king. Probably not.
Yeah.
So he kind of got to do whatever he wanted. He got to study. He got to, like, build skills and whatever. But then in another moment, there was this acknowledgement that maybe he was also a threat to his brothers because of his skill. So it was like, I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
No, but it was interesting to kind of get more an insight into, like, his life and what he kind of was about before coming to the
Lucien
Spring
had
Court.
this whole other life before he was in the Spring Court.
Yeah. I do need to read the part because they do need food. So I love this. Farrah's, like, trying to make, like, a little fishing rod, I guess. And then she looks over and it's like, I was in the process of constructing a rudimentary fishing pole when he waded into the stream, boots off and pants rolled to his knees, and caught one with his bare hands. He tied his hair up, a few strands of it falling into his face as he swooped down again and threw a second trout onto the sandy bank where I had been trying to find a substitute for fishing twine. Just a really big fan of that scene.
You're just scooping fish out
Right?
of the water?
Imagine?
All right.
Oh my god, just my hair pulled back. Don't worry, like, I'll go get us some fish.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is a mandatory skill.
And he's, like, in the Autumn Court. So, you know, like, she even, I think it described sometimes, like, it looked like a jewel box with all the fall colors just, like, around him in this stream.
And his red hair.
Red hair and his tanned skin.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like just a great
It's a really
vision.
great image.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you think that that is real? Like, do you think there's someone out there that can go into streams and catch the fish?
Yeah, people could do that. Yeah.
Look it up on TikTok, because TikTok has everything. They got men chopping wood. They will have a man catching a fish with his bare hands.
So, like, it is a thing.
So yeah, we looked it up. There,
I know I've seen better ones, but
it does exist. It does exist. I don't know why we don't. Let's move on. He does bring up his girlfriend that passed away, and that was murdered by his family.
Mm-hmm.
That the people, if they caught, it wasn't just that they're afraid of Lucien's father catching them, but also because the people have kind of turned against Lucien as well and will not help him because they believe that he didn't protect her enough. Which was so sad.
It was, like, he talks about how afterwards he went to one of their houses for help. Yeah. And they all, like, turned him away. So you're pretty much turned away by, like, both sides of your court.
Right, because he said that because he was the last brother, he got to have more freedom and that he got to know community a lot more than his brothers did, and that's where he met his, what's her name?
Girlfriend, Lucinda?
Jasminda. That's where he met Jasminda.
Oh, so their name would have been Lucinda. Their couple name.
Oh.
That's cute.
Well, they do finally get caught.
Okay, but I do like, she does say about him, she calls him the Lord of Foxes. And I really liked that.
The Lord of Foxes.
Yeah.
I like it.
That needs to be on a shirt.
Mrs. Lord of Foxes.
Lady of Foxes.
Lady of Foxes doesn't have
the same ring
doesn't
to
hit
it.
the same, but I'll take it.
Right. And I do like, she kind of starts to get her power back and she thinks she's dreaming. And she can see, like, herself from, like, Lucien's view.
Oh yeah, she can see herself and then sees him put a blanket or his coat on her.
I think that was cute.
Yeah.
See, he cares, Farrah.
Even when it's bad between them and they're, like, mean to each other, there is still, you feel this connection between them that there is this, like, genuine friendship and like of each other.
Yeah. And I think we kind of, still see that in, like, the next couple chapters, too.
Which is why they get a couple name. A platonic couple name.
Yeah.
Which Should be a trend.
I agree.
We should get couple names with your platonic friends. Mm-hmm. It isn't just for the romance, people.
No. Anyone can do it.
So, chapter 12. Sarah J. Maas titled this one, Escaping the Vanserra Brothers. Not to be confused with the Menendez brothers. No. This is the Vanserra brothers.
Yes. So they do wake up in Farah's mouth, which is the end of the last chapter. But they wake up to Lucien's brothers. So that's fun.
Yep. Eris is there. She's the guy that we already sort of know about that left more at the border in her sad story. Was
her betrothed.
Here's my issue. Why aren't we giving Lucien's brothers names? It feels like an unnecessary skip. Even if we don't get to know them here, just give them names.
Yeah.
Just give... What?
Yeah, that's true.
Sarah.
Like, they've been around a couple times now.
Just give them some names.
Did you look it up? Did we ever get their names?
I did Google it.
And no?
No.
Oh.
Unless I'm missing something, but...
That is really weird.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to name them.
Okay.
What would you name them?
Oh, God.
So Eris, we know that Lucien's dad is Baron. And then there's Lucien and there's Eris.
Oh, that's a tough... Because, what are those names? Just... Kyle.
I was going to say Lyle.
John.
Roger.
I think it really flows with the rest of them.
No.
Jules.
I could see that.
Okay, that's my choice for one.
Okay.
What's yours?
Okay, Jean-Claude.
Antoine.
Pierre.
Raphael. I like Jules.
Okay, one of them can be Jules, and the other one's Kyle. Jules and Kyle.
Florian.
Oh, I like that one.
Right?
Florian.
Okay, Florian and Jules.
Oh, no, you don't want Kyle?
I don't think Kyle goes with it.
Fine.
Okay, Florian. Now I miss Kyle.
Now, Eris is funny and says that they're cuckolding Tamlin, and that made me laugh. So eventually, when they get to safety, they finally escape them for a bit, and they have that cave scene where they think they're going to die. Anyway.
I do also like when they're escaping and how she has, over these last few chapters, really referenced Cassian, and how, Cassian taught me this, and remembering all that.
Well, yeah, and we'll get more of that, too.
Yeah.
She finally remembers.
So they're cuddling in the cave so they don't die.
Lucien asks, or he says, tell me about Elaine. And Feyre goes on and on about her gardening. And I thought, Jamie, if someone is asking you about me, they're like, tell me about her. This better not be your description. Not that I like to garden, but there's gotta be more to me than my stupid hobby.
Yeah.
Oh, she loves to podcast about books.
Yeah, loves books. Loves to read books.
Do a couple paragraphs of that and then just leave it. I'm like, that's her. That's her.
You'll love her.
She just talks and talks and...
I also felt it weird because when he did ask about her, it's I want to know if she's worth fighting for. I was like, I guess I get the question, but I don't know. It's kind of offended.
Yeah, Madden Fair is no, she kind of sucks.
Yeah. I'm trying to tell you, but...
I feel like Farrah wouldn't even say that about Nesta.
How they wake up in the morning and she's like, we lasted the night. I was like, imagine if they didn't and that's just where the book ends. That's it. We're done.
I was going to say, that would be interesting.
You literally have in here, Jamie, please have a better description.
So eventually the brothers find them and are like, oh, we're going to melt the ice because now they're crossing over to the winter court. Yeah. And so it's a scary scene.
Yes, I do love you kind of have this when they're running in the zigzag and Lucien's telling her to zigzag and just calling out orders. I'm like, yeah, it's nice to see you in this element and not just following Tamlin around and just doing whatever Tamlin does. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he has good ideas, to zigzag.
Yeah.
He knows how to zigzag. So this is us going into chapter 13. So Sarah J. Maas titled this one, The Illyrian Rescue.
I also love, as this is happening, I think Farrah's shooting ice out of her hands, possibly. I think Lucien looks over at her in surprise. Like, she's constantly surprising him and, like, other people when she, like, shows what she does. Like, that would just be such a fun feeling.
Look what I can do.
Yeah, like, it's, like, a very, almost, I don't know why, but, like, you know, in Pretty Woman, when she, like, goes back to the store, like, that Julia Roberts pretty moment, that's what it, like, reminds me of.
I like that that's your reference.
Yeah. That's what I think of. I'm like, oh, just, like, such a good feeling. Like, yeah, look what I can do.
Yeah, you don't think much of me, but I'm actually really cool skills. I'm a cool person.
Mm-hmm. Watch me shoot this ice out of my hands.
And Farrah's hesitant to show her powers too, because not everyone knows that she has all of the High Lord's power yet. So that's one of her hesitancies. But, like, you kind of got no choice, girl. You got to just save yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then Eris, he's so mean.
Yeah, he really is.
He's, like, very violent. I forgot about this part. And I'm like, whoa. Why?
Yeah, like, you can just chill out a little bit.
I'm actually, like, a little bit confused. Like, what? Like, even referencing back to, like, Moore's dad, there's those situations where you're like, why?
Yeah.
Why do you care so much about... I don't know.
Yeah, like, why are you being so aggressive?
Yeah, like, be chill, guys.
Yeah, I think there's no need for this.
Don't worry about it. Be nice to your brother.
Also, yeah. Everybody get along.
So anyway, the best scene in these chapters when this is happening and Farrah feels helpless.
I got butterflies when I read it.
A shadow slammed into the earth before us, cracking the ice toward every horizon.
Not a shadow.
An Illyrian warrior.
7 red siphons glinted over his scaled black armor as Cassian tucked in his wings and snarled at Eris with 5 centuries worth of rage.
Yay!
And then he also says, I suggest you drop, my lady. Right?
Yeah, I think that happens like a few, but yes.
But when he sees Eris, like, holding her.
Yes.
Oh my god, they're back. And I actually started crying, I'm not gonna lie. I was just, like, so happy.
It was so good. Yeah, I read it over a couple times.
Same. I was like, this just makes me so happy to read. And, like, and they're back.
And Farrah's emotional.
Yeah. I loved it.
And they're there to rescue her. But of course, Farrah has to step in and use her high lady power here because she doesn't want them to kill the brothers because politics. They need them in the war. So she reveals her glamour that she had on her tattoo so that they all can see the mate bond and the high lady. I don't... Do they know that she's a high lady just from the tattoo? Or is that just, like... I don't know.
It probably shows, like, something with their, like, union that has to do with... But yeah, she does. I love how she has to be like, stop! Like, you idiots are all going to kill each other.
Yes, and she says quietly, I am the high lady of the night guard. That's how I imagined it.
Oh.
Sorry, that's probably not how she said it. It was like, why are you saying it quietly? I am the high lady of the night guard.
There is no such thing as a high lady.
There is now, bitches.
I wish she threw
I
that
added
in.
that last part. And then Farrah tells Cassian to take her home.
And we find out that Lucien's last name is Vanserra.
We do. And it was really cute when she's flying with Cassian and she squeezes him and he says, I missed you too.
I missed you too, Cassian.
Okay, here's my issue, and I don't know if you clock this. Moore didn't come. She said something about the winter court relations. So, like, I'm gonna hang out on the border because, like, they don't really like us, so I'm just gonna be, like, you know, standing here and just, like, just in case. I was like, okay. And then Farrah also thinks in her head, and also because of Eris. That's also why you didn't come. And I thought, a very long time ago, Eris did something fucked up to you.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be discounted, but it's like, okay, Farrah was almost murdered here. Wouldn't that be a good time to just push through?
Maybe it was a
go
combination
help.
of both. Like, what's the winter court thing about? Maybe it's actually like it will make things worse.
If she doesn't stand at the border.
Oh, yeah, I guess she's just at the border, so that wouldn't.
I don't know. I guess maybe she just trusts Cassian and Azrael to handle it, but.
So you're a little annoyed at Moore, eh?
I am.
Yeah, that's fair.
I am. Chapter 14. Lucien doesn't know where he is.
And Lucien and all these chapters are just like, oh, this is awful for you.
And also, Face and reunite.
Oh.
Is that the couple name? Did I make that up in my head, or is
No, I think that's
that the general consensus for all of us fans here? I'm going to talk for the entire community.
Yeah.
And don't disagree with me, because I know SJM fans all agree anyway, so it's fine.
I do feel like when this like whole reunion thing's happening, it's just so awkward. Like Lucien just standing there, like everyone's like just reunited, and then him and Azrael having to like fly together.
That's weird.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Like, oh, this is just awful for him.
Yeah, it's funny. And Lucien bows to Amren, which was really funny.
Yeah.
And Lucian's kind of like, oh, where am I? He's like, there's children laughing. Then Fair's explaining, yeah, this is Valaris. This is, this is my home. And Lucien says, and you were the High Lady of the Night Court. Because that's still obviously a shock to him.
Yeah.
And then Rhys appears, and he says, indeed she is.
Oh,
and
they're back together.
Farah thinks my blood stopped at the voice that drawled behind me, at the scent that hit me, awoke me. My friends begin smiling. And I did think that this was a little bit like those, like, airport videos, when, like...
Oh, and they're, like, reunited.
Oh, like, reunited with their dog, or, like, someone who went to war, or, like...
Yeah.
Well,
she did go to war.
And you're watching it, and you're like, oh, my God, my heart.
Yeah, like, just the looks on their faces and everyone around.
And so the friends standing around, and how she's like, my friends were smiling, they're probably like, ooh, this is fun. They're back together.
He's been awful since my God. He calls her like my love and like.
Yeah, she says I turned. Rhysand leaned against the archway, which, side note, he does do that a few times. He really likes to lean against that archway.
I mean, it's a good move.
He leans against the archway into the sitting room, arms crossed, wings nowhere to be seen, dressed in the usual immaculate black jacket and pants, and as those violet eyes met mine, as that familiar half-smile faded, my face crumpled. A small broken noise cracked from me. Rhys was instantly moving, but my legs had already given out. The foyer carpet cushioned the impact as I sank to my knees. I covered my face with my hands while the past month crashed into me. Rhys knelt before me, knee to knee. Gently he pulled my hands away from my face. Gently he took my cheeks into his hands and brushed away my tears. I didn't care that we had an audience as I lifted my head and beheld the joy and concern and love shining in those remarkable eyes. Neither did Rhys as he murmured,
my love.
It's very feminine.
It just makes me so happy.
And kissed me.
Oh.
I love that scene.
It makes me so happy. Like, you just really feel it.
Yeah, he's like, get out of here, we're gonna do it.
Yeah. You guys need to be far away from this. Like, just everybody out.
Okay, so then they give each other a bunch of information. He went to the Spring Court to find her, and then only half the people showed up for the teeth.
The tithe.
The tithe. Sorry, the tithe. They believe that Tamlin chased her away because of the Highburn people. Tamlin sentries abandoned him, and then Jurian went back to Highburn. And then she learns her sisters are at the House of Wind, and then Rhys was trying to spy on the human queens, and then after all of that, we get to the penetration.
That's right.
She did have to bathe first, which was good on their part. That sounded disgusting. I'm not sure.
Well, especially when we find out that, like, how, like, under the mountain, because he can be like, oh, you're clean.
Yeah.
But he explains you're not actually, there's still, like, that layer of yuck, but you just don't see it. And what I love, he does say, well, where shall I begin, Farah, darling? I missed my Farah, darling.
Did you?
Yeah, because he's the only one that can say it.
Yeah.
Like, should I just get darling tattooed right on my...
You should get Jamie Darling, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right on my chest, so when everyone sees me, they have to say it.
It's a choice. Chapter 15?
No, I'm not done.
Okay.
Okay, I just thought it was really cute. They're, like, talking about how much they, like, missed each other and everything. This isn't even, like, a sexual thing, but I do like that he's like, I miss this, but I missed having you as my friend even more. And that's what it's all about, guys. You gotta find that person that's also your best friend. I was like, that's
your
just...
best friend that
yeah.
you can
and I just
rub orifices with.
Exactly.
Chapter 15. Sarah J. Maas named this one Reese threatens Lucien. Lucien gets story time. And Nesta and Elaine love immortality.
Yeah, that's all correct.
Just to be clear, though, so we don't get sued, because I know Sarah's going to listen to this. This is not the real titles.
No, it's not.
But she should take advice from us. These are really good. Add them into the next edition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Reese threatens Lucien. We'll show you ways to die that you've never imagined. I will rip out your fucking throat. It's hard to take him seriously. Because
now you know, like, the sweeter side of him.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm not scared, Reese.
I'm not scared of you. This is ridiculous.
Although I did like him bringing his wings out. Like, that was super dramatic. I did like the dramatic effect of that. That was nice to see. I'm sure Lucien was scared.
Yeah, I bet he was. The clever fox stares down winged death.
Yeah, that's Bear's new painting.
Great names for these paintings. I need to give her that.
It is a really good name.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see those paintings, Farah.
I just feel bad for Lucien right now.
It's a weird situation.
So weird. But Lucien finally does get a story time that I feel like was really owed. Also, to go back to when they were traveling together, at one point she does say it had been 5 days.
Yeah.
And they had spoke maybe twice. That sounds weird. Awful.
It does sound awful.
You could have used those 5 days to probably tell him some of this stuff.
I mean, but then we wouldn't get this cool scene where they go to the House of Wind and then they get to, like, chill on the deck.
Yeah,
and lean against the railing. So that's where Lucien gets his story time. For some reason, I recall this being a longer conversation, but it is pretty brief, this description.
Yeah. Well, they don't really need to, like,
I
retell us the story that we just finished reading.
Yeah, so
but she does start with Kalmai, which I was surprised how, like, she really
how far back she went.
Yeah, she really went, like, all in to, like, really get him to understand things.
Yeah, it's like when someone's like, tell me about yourself, and you're like, I was born on a crisp day in June. You're like, you too far.
Now I do like that you have here that Reese also gives his piece with a little Cassian sprinkled in there.
Yeah.
They really add some entertainment to the story.
But we don't actually hear what they're saying. That's what I mean. I want that dialogue.
Yeah. What
was the condensed version, the less vulnerable version that Reese gave to him? What were the funny tidbits that Cassian gave to him? I want to know.
Yeah. This part was sad, where then Lucien does say, I hadn't realized I was the villain in your narrative.
And Farah says, you weren't. And she thinks, not entirely. So I guess that kind of concludes it. Like, he's realizing, I was not seeing all the pieces.
Yeah.
And then she's also confirming, like, I don't see you as the person that, I don't know. She doesn't see him in the same light as Tamlin, right?
Yeah. Yes, like, I'm not putting you in that category with him.
Yeah.
Which also, like, I wouldn't have brought you here to this place with these people if
right, she wasn't trying to enact her vengeance on him.
No.
That was not the goal. It must be really jarring, though, when you perceive Reese as a certain person, perceive the Night Court as just the Illyrian lands and the Court of Nightmares, then it's like, oh, yeah, it's probably a little bit weird.
Yeah. And then kind of seeing everything from more Farah's perspective and how bad things actually were. Because I think he obviously knew things were bad there, but to really just...
And now he's attached to Tamlin and also the Autumn Court and his dad and his brothers, and they don't have a good reputation either. So he's just like, I am Lucien.
Nobody kill me.
Okay, at the end of this we have a reintroduction of the Fae versions of Nesta and Elaine, and they are just loving life. They're just having a party.
So happy
They
right
are,
now.
just
They
like,
rush
oh my
in,
God,
we're like,
look,
oh.
we're gonna live forever. Look how beautiful we are. Hey, everybody, we love you. We love you. We love you. Love you guys. Thank you. We're doing so good.
Yeah,
Our
we're
mental
so
health
happy to be
is at
this way.
100%. Just kidding. Just kidding. Nesta's super mean.
But super beautiful.
And threatening everybody. Even though everyone's being super nice to her. It's just unnecessary.
She's so mean.
It's hard to watch.
I'm so uncomfortable.
I know.
In all these parts.
You would be.
It's so uncomfortable for me to read. I was like, I hate this so much.
Right, and your instinct is like, what did I do?
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry, Nesta.
Yeah. What do you need from me?
Feelings?
I hate it. And like, you can't fix it. It's just, she's going through what she's going through, but I'm so uncomfortable.
And Cassian, even though he's making jokes, it's also like, Cassian.
Yeah.
It's like he's sad, but he's making jokes, and Faye's noticing like how he's looking at Nesta. He's like, she's great. She's so great.
Which we kind of find out more like a little bit later when she questions about it, but...
Yeah, and just Elaine is a shell of a person.
Yep.
And she's just like, I want to go home.
Like, so much worse than Nesta, though. Like, that, I would rather be Nesta than this.
Yeah. Yeah, she's, like, super concerned about the guy she was gonna marry. Yeah, and I know this may seem harsh, but my note was, babe, that man sucked.
Yeah.
Just stop it. Stop it. And so the empathy side of my brain goes like, this was what her life was. This was a measure of success, and in her life, this was,
your whole body is now changed. You're in a different world, and you're also losing that life with that person too. So like, I get it. Be very.
Yeah, but then you're also like, you're in this really beautiful home in this cool city, and these people are being so nice to you, and like, you've not experienced that. Like, I don't know, like, can't you also see that there's like, I don't know why I don't have patience for it this time around reading this book. I'm sorry.
Elaine, wake up. Look where you are. Think of all the gardening you could do.
Yeah, so Lucien doesn't get to see her.
No. Well, he does see her and kind of see how she's like acting. But Lucien gets like his own room and that kind of thing, and he does thank Farah.
Yeah, so that's chapter 16. So that one is titled Lucien the House Guest and Amren's Place. It says thank you, and I don't really know why he said that.
Well, thank you for
the clothes in the house.
Yeah. For housing me and giving me food and...
Okay, let's go to Amren's house. I always like her
You don't want to talk about how Lucien tried to pay Reese?
No.
Okay.
I always like to go to Amren's loft because it sounds really cool, and I would live there.
Yeah, same.
I used to live in a
very tiny apartment.
A studio apartment. So
was it not even a studio, or was it just a hallway?
It is considered just, it doesn't have a bedroom.
No, I know, I'm just kidding.
But yes, I mean, similar thought. I was going to say it was not the size of Amren's that I imagine. I imagine hers being very spacious.
Yeah.
Mine was not.
No. I liked it, though.
Mm-hmm. And Amren's like, well, just kill all the Vanserra brothers, and then Lucien can be in charge. Like, duh.
God, guys. So easy.
It's not a bad idea, Amren.
No, I actually also thought that.
Yeah. And then they just do a bunch of strategy talk that I don't really care about, and that section is so boring for me.
Yeah. I like it, but I don't need to rehash it or anything. They just plan war things, and which I do enjoy, but...
Okay, here's like the really, really fast overview. The King of Hybern has isolated the people and strengthened their belief that the time before the treaty when they had human slaves was ideal, so Hybern is recruiting other territories in the Court of Dreams with planting false info to get them to turn on each other, and there's something wrong with the cauldron. Can Farah or her sisters take down the wall? I don't know.
Oh. That was great.
Thank you.
I'm going to just pick out a random part that I liked. When they're discussing stuff, Farrah finds out he went somewhere. Mm-hmm. And it must have been like he heard her saying, I don't bond or whatever. I read it as he was like talking to Cassian. And he says, I can stay hidden, mate. He was saying this to Farrah. When I read it, I was like, is he British all of a sudden? Like, why is he saying that? Because I was like, I can stay hidden, mate. And I literally had to...
You're like, he is British. This is what we're thinking.
I was like, when did this happen? I had to read it like 3 times. I'm like, oh, like, mate. So that was my favorite part of this whole war talk.
Be British.
Right? No, I mean, he could be. We don't know.
But then the mate thing would get confusing, for sure.
That's also true.
My favorite part is when Amryn is just... Oh, I love an unfiltered gal.
Oh,
Farrah says, my sisters will play no part in this. I asked them to help once, and look what happened. I won't risk them again. And Amryn says...
You sound exactly like a Tamlin.
And then the emotions in the room explode.
Everyone's just like,
oh no.
And Moore gets pissed.
Moore is mad. Take it back. Apologize. Yeah. Which is... Moore, I don't know that demanding an apology is the best approach here. But finally, Farrah agrees and
it does say, like, no, you're right.
Because she is right.
Yeah.
Maybe your delivery is not the greatest, but she's right.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's kind of the end of the chapter. And we learn that Rhys is like, yeah, we're going to send a letter to the High Lords.
It's going to be a High Lord party.
I know this might be a little bit of a spoiler, but this does end up happening, and I'm so pumped up for it.
I'm really excited to reread this part.
That's one of my favorite parts of the book.
Yeah. There's some great dialogue that we can reenact.
Oh, do you just want us to read out... read it all out?
Yeah. We'll just read the whole meeting for everybody.
Warm up all my voices for all the High Lords. Okay, chapter 17. Cassian and Nesta sitting in a tree. Kissing. And then a family dinner.
I just want to point out that we get to see Mary-Kate and Ashley again.
Mm-hmm.
And they hug. I thought that was cute.
I did think it too while I was reading. I was like, Mary-Kate and Ashley.
You're back.
So Farrah, like she does, calls out Cassian about Nesta.
Again, I love that. I also love that friendship. She has a lot of great male friends.
Yeah, she's like, what was that, Cassian? She doesn't say that. That's just my dialogue. But whether he noticed a difference with her powers, and she's showing that. No, she's not.
And I do love that she says in that part that she went from being a cat to a panther.
Oh, that's a good description.
Yeah.
And then she asks, what's going on? Like, what's the deets? What's the
411?
And he says he didn't think Nesta would ever forgive him for what happened to Elaine.
Well, I think at one point he did promise that he would protect them, and then he failed.
Right. But the logic isn't logicking, I guess. And I can see the way that he's thinking about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I could see that Nesta might feel let down. But then it's like logic. Logic, people. The man was bleeding out. The man was dying. And when you are...
Which Farrah does point that out.
Exactly. When you are dying, your ability to save someone goes out the window. So why are... But it's almost like...
I think it's his guilt.
Yeah, I know, but stop it.
Yeah.
No, that's baloney.
Well, have you ever had your wings shredded and you couldn't save Eddie? You don't know how it feels.
I can gather a guess, and I would be like, I was dying. So
you expect too much from me.
I feel no guilt because it's literally impossible for me to help you.
Because I still get it.
Oh, and she asks him why he bothers with Nesta.
He says, because I can't stay away. Right?
I think he says, because I surprisingly can't stay away.
Oh, I hope because I can't stay away.
Is that like an autocorrect thing that I...
Yeah, because I wrote from the book.
Okay, well mine sounds worse, so we'll just go with yours. But yeah, Kissing.
What's gonna happen?
He's drawn to her, even though she is not nice to him. I
Yeah.
don't like it. And we get more of it at the family dinner.
Oh my god.
We get more
This
of it.
family dinner. Number one, I just love how Lucian's like, what is the dress code?
Yes.
Farrah's like in slippers and a sweater. Moore's in a full-on gown.
Well, Farrah too she's in leathers, like leather pants, and then just a t-shirt and slippers.
She has like a white sweater and slippers.
What about sweats or jeans? Why are we in leathers?
They're probably like comfy. I feel like they're like leggings.
Okay.
They're probably comfortable.
They
I don't know.
be.
But they're all in all different things. And I'm like, you know what? That's how it should always be at dinners. You want to wear a gown?
I do like that protocol. You wear those gown and jewels.
So
I do like Nesta's participation in it, though.
Oh my god, Nesta.
I thought she's depressed and she's mean.
Yeah.
But she also makes an effort to look hot. So, like, why? What's the game plan? Why?
She wants to look hot to piss Cassian off, I think.
Maybe. I'm just, like, very confused by her motivations. It's like you take the time to, like, braid your hair nice, you put on the gown, and then you come to dinner, but, like, you don't want to speak to anybody and you're really mean to them. I'm just like, what's...
Her, like, whole interaction with Moore.
Wow.
It's like, Moore's trying to be nice, like, complimenting and all that. And I think she says something, how she would steal the dress, or something about, like, them share, I don't know. And she just, like, looks her over at her dress, and it's very like revealing, and she's like, fortunately for you, I don't return the sentiment. But just her response to everything,
And then Amren to Nesta. So she's like, I see you. We are alike. We are the same. But one of the things in her little interaction and speech that Amren says that I liked was, she says, you did not fit the mold that they shoved you into. The path that you were born upon and forced to walk. You tried, and yet you could not fit. And then the path changed. I know what it is to be that way. I remember it long ago as it was. Which is interesting, because she's not just talking about Nesta post-Cauldron. Mm-hmm. She's talking about Nesta pre-Cauldron.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That you are this person that was made to be, I don't know, this lady in the human lands who has this very specific role to enact, which like Elaine is struggling with. Like she was successful in that role, but Nesta didn't quite fit, and now she's this other thing and still doesn't quite fit, and so Amren's kind of relating to that. And I can't recall when we get Amren's story more.
No, me neither. Can I add on to that quote though?
Yeah.
Because I do like that she does continue a little bit later, and then she says, when you erupt, girl, make sure it is felt across worlds. No? Not a fan?
Like, hopefully she doesn't kill everybody. I don't know.
No. Or maybe it'll be really good timing during the war.
Yeah.
Please do it during the war if you're going to do it.
I did kept imagining Amren as Janine Garofalo also.
Oh. That's different.
I couldn't stop hearing Amren's voice as Janine Garofalo in these speeches. Like, I feel like she has the voice. Was she also smoking a cigarette? She was.
Yeah.
Yep, it was a young Janine Garofalo with a bob, and she was smoking a cig.
I'm actually not really mad about it.
Okay.
And I do also like that Nesta does reference the food to Farrah. It was a nice comment, and says, I get what you mean about the food.
That was redeeming for her.
Yeah. I thank God something good was thrown in there from you.
You did one thing.
Yeah. Okay, but Lucien.
Yeah, and then at the end of it, Lucien tries to help a little bit.
Which I was like, good for you stepping up and be like, he's like, can I say something? And Reese, really, nobody else ever asks. I also just love the whole family dinner vibe again and how, like, informal it is. And Lucian's just like, what the hell is happening?
You get the head of the table, Lucien.
Yeah. It's like, I can sit here. But then, like, and Lucien and Az are going to hang out and talk strategy. So that'll be fun. Future besties, maybe?
Doubt it.
You never know. Casting call. Casting call. Oh.
Do you not know what to do with it anymore?
Just like to mix it up a little bit and try different things.
Okay, we got one.
Just one today. Okay, who's gonna go first? So.
Does that mean it's you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I chose Sam Claflin.
Who's that?
He was in Hunger Games. Romance movie that I can't remember what it's called. He's in lots of things. You'll know who he is. Like remember him, Hunger Games? And he was in that, like, do you know that romantic movie? Do you know who he is?
The romantic movie?
Oh my god, what was that movie called? I feel like this is a better picture.
Okay, I think, yeah. He seems familiar.
Oh my god, I need to tell you what the movie is. I feel like you'll then know who he is. Me Before You.
No.
No? Like that one? It was like a book and everything. It was very popular.
Not to me.
He was also in Daisy Jones and the Six. If you haven't seen that show, highly recommend. No? Yeah?
Yeah. No, I think, no, that's a good choice. I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Same.
Mine is not like my favorite, so I'm
Oh, you're not excited or anything about it?
I'm not excited about it. This is just the person that I imagined. I'm not happy with it. It's just, it is what it is.
Okay.
Mine is Tom Hiddleston.
Oh! Yeah, I can see how you would imagine him.
Yeah.
I love Tom Hiddleston. Loki?
I just, even though Eris is a villain, I do want him to be, like, super hot. Not that Tom Hiddleston is not, like, a good-looking man. He's just, like, not mine. Not for me.
No, he's not yours. You're right.
What are you talking about? I want that for Eris, even though he's evil. What is wrong with me?
I mean, I don't think he's 100% evil, so I get it.
Okay.
I mean, I think... Have you seen Tom Hiddleston in other things?
Not much.
Yeah, my choice is better anyways.
Okay, fine.
All right.
If you all have a better Eris, tell us.
Yes, please.
MVP.
MVP.
Mine is Az and Cass.
Didn't even get to take a breath there.
I know, because I didn't want you to take it away from me.
Yeah.
They have the big Illyrian rescue, and I just loved it so much.
It's just the best.
It gave me the tingles.
Yeah. So many. It made me so happy.
Yeah, just Fair's reaction, and then their power, their siphons glowing, and just taking down the Vanserra brothers.
Get your hand off my high lady.
And then
I missed them so much.
Fair asserts her power, and they just, like, fall in line.
Yeah, right? Like, yeah, that's our high lady. We will listen to anything she tells us to do.
Yeah.
Like, when she says stop, immediately they're just like, yep.
Do you have a different one?
No.
Oh.
I was like, I don't know if I'm going to pretend to try and... Maybe I'll give Lucien just for...
Enduring.
It just isn't like a participation award I almost want to give him.
Oh, he does need a participation award.
Yeah, just so many awkward...
Hanging in there.
Yeah.
Like that cat poster. He's hanging in there.
Yeah, just so many awkward moments for him. He's like, what the fuck? And, you know, he's trying, so...
He's trying to help.
Yeah, participation award for him.
He's doing his best in an awkward sitch.
Yeah.
I think moving forward, we're probably going to be doing like 10 chapters at a time. So we're going to be moving along here for A Court of Wings and Ruin.
Which means we will soon read the whole dialogue from that meeting. And I can't wait. We're just going to do one episode of just that.
If you're not already following us on social media, so on TikTok and Instagram, Books and Booze Podcast, we are there trying our best. So follow along with us and we'll be around. And then also if whatever you're listening to, whether it's Apple or it's Spotify or whatever it is, if you leave a comment or give 5 stars, that's always incredibly helpful.
Please comment and answer some questions that you've heard us say.
I always put a question on Spotify. I always do a poll.
I always do the polls.
Just me and you do the poll.
Yeah. But I'm like, when I do listen on Spotify, I don't ever notice those, I think.
I know, yeah. I'm not sure. Well, they're there.
Yeah. So I'll comment, like, Halloween movies, anything.
Okay, toodaloo.
Bye bye.